Hi everyone and welcome to Service for the Community. I'm your host Matt Blow and today we have Jeff from Rotary and Rebecca from Kiwanis Club. How's everyone doing today?
You're doing just great.
Great, thanks.
Yep.
Good, good. Well Jeff, we'll start with you, a cause that's I think very near and dear to Rotary. Let's talk about polio.
Well, it's near and dear to everybody, and for those over the age of 40, you probably remember it. Under 40, you probably don't know what it is, but the age-old scourge of polio is still around, although we've reduced it to 2 countries. Only Afghanistan and Pakistan, and you can imagine where it is. It's that war-torn border area there. And the single biggest problem there is a lot of people are on the move.
Sure.
So if we go in to immunize the children, and that's what we're after, is every kid under 5, they might be here one day and the next day they've moved 100 miles. So that's the biggest single problem, is that area right there. So far this year we've had 18 cases there, which has really reduced it from 350,000 cases 25 years ago.
I was going to say, it sounds like most years you guys have like improvement. I know this last bit is the part you've been struggling with, but it sounds like you guys have made improvement almost every
Right,
year.
and it's just been that area. We were really worried about Nigeria for years. I mean, it's a huge country. It's got technology problems and it's war-torn, but they haven't had a case there for over a year, and they only had one. And then prior to that, we had had another year with no cases. So we really think we've got that one under control.
Sure. Yeah.
And actually that kind of brings up one of the problems. Right now the only real issue is money. If we've got enough money, we can immunize the kids and take care of this. But in a case where somebody has traveled to a polio area, they pick it up and bring it back home, then we have a case of polio, and that can quickly become a lot of cases of polio. So when they find that out, they do what they call a SWAT team. They send a team of experts in and volunteers, and they hit every kid in a 6-mile radius of where that polio case was. That runs about $35 million to pull that off.
Oh, wow.
So that's one of the huge expenses that we have.
What are some of the, like, how fast and in what ways is polio spread?
Polio is spread by pollution, fecal contamination primarily.
Okay.
So a good sewer system is probably the best medical thing we have. And that's one of the problems in these areas that we're talking about. We're talking about very rural, very poor, very concentrated places, and it can spread really fast. Half a dozen years ago, give or take, we had a case was brought in Minneapolis where there's a group of people that don't believe in vaccines. So they weren't vaccinated, and it quickly spread through that community.
Wow.
So it can be here in a plane flight.
Wow.
So October 24th is World Polio Day, and if you Google that, you'll get lots of information on it. And it's a day that we tend to focus on what is polio, teach people about it, and hopefully get some money to take care of it.
Sure. Awesome. All right, Rebecca, I'm going to switch over to you here at the Kiwanis, and you want to talk about, well, tell us about Blessings in a Backpack.
Okay. Kiwanis is a service organization, and what we do is support a lot of other local charities. So Blessings in a Backpack is something that we believe in very strongly. We donate both our volunteer hours and financial resources as well to them. We are a chapter that works with Clarkston and Waterford. So we support Blessings in a Backpack for both Clarkston schools and Waterford schools.
Gotcha.
So our Blessings in a Backpack activity on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of every month, it's at Waypoint Church for Blessings in a Backpack of Clarkston. And then in Waterford, it's every Wednesday at 4 p.m. at Riverside Elementary. So Blessings in a Backpack's main mission is to fill the nutritional gaps for kids in school. And if they don't have enough to eat, we pack literally a backpack full of food and give it to them so they have it, and it's delivered to all the schools every week. That happens whether kids are in school for the school year or whether they're at home during the summer. It's a year-round commitment.
Is there an emphasis on canned foods and things like that, or is it kind of all kinds of foods?
It's all kinds of foods for them. We do allergy-sensitive packages. We do all of it. We just had a fundraiser at a car show locally to support the Waterford effort. They're thinking of trying to bring on another school. So a lot of our hours and money do go to support those very worthy causes.
And so this is year-round. I think you mentioned
This is
the
year-round, a
dates earlier.
year-round commitment Clarkston, Waterford, Kiwanis has made to Blessings in a Backpack.
Awesome. And do you have any idea, like, how many kids does this affect, maybe over the course of a couple months, or do you have any idea, like, the impact that has?
There are more children in the Waterford area that get the assistance, but both school systems have children that suffer with this. And we are able to impact hundreds of children by supporting Blessings in a Backpack and the great work that they do.
That's great. That's great. Well, Jeff, we're going to go back to you, but before we jump to the next topic, I realized there was a polio video we were going to check out. So right now, before we get into our next topic, let's take a look at that video right now.
That should do it. Checkmate.
从职业摔跤手转型成一个好莱坞电影明星，对这种转变你是怎么看的？
我不想改变我的工作，因为我最喜欢WWE。
Hey, Cena, they need you back on set.
哇，John Cena 真是无所不能，
好，谢谢。
谢谢您。
Hey, John Cena.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jay Wenger. I'm the director of polio at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
You know one thing I don't know a lot about? Polio eradication.
Yeah, polio is a bad disease that has been paralyzing and killing kids for thousands of years. Fortunately, we have some vaccines now that we've been able to use to drive this virus to the edge of extinction.
So there's no cure, but the vaccines prevent the disease.
That's right. Once you get paralyzed with polio, there's nothing that a doctor can do to fix that paralysis. However, we can prevent kids from ever getting infected in the first place by making sure that every child gets the polio vaccine.
With the help of the vaccine, we could possibly eradicate polio from the entire world.
That's right. We've driven polio now to the smallest populations ever, just a handful of cases in 3 countries in the world. Once we finish there, we win. But if we don't take advantage of that opportunity now, the virus could crawl out and reinfect other places again.
Doc.
Awesome. So now, Jeff, the next thing you want to talk about is, Rotary has this annual event called the Wine Tasting Party. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah. This will be our 19th or 20th year. I keep forgetting which it is.
So you guys have been at it for a while.
We've been at it for a while, and we have lots of community support for this. So first off, Bordine donates the space. So we don't have to pay for the space, and it's a beautiful space. We take over where there are flowers currently. It'll be all devoted to 12 food stations. We've got 12 local restaurants that'll be there, and they bring some delicious food. Last year, one of the restaurants bought meatballs, but they were lamb meatballs, not hamburger. We've had lobster bisque there, several different kinds of mac and cheese. So it's a real good selection of food. So even if you don't like wine, you'll like the food. And then we'll have 10 wine stations, and each station will have over 4 to 6 wines, and they'll be from all over the world. We've got them from South America and Italy and Australia, and of course Southern California. So they'll all be there, and then we'll have a beer station, and I kind of call it the beer corner. We have one quarter devoted to the beer, and Chris, the guy who supplies the beer for us, brings some of these sample bottles. So they're the $15, $20 of craft beer. So he loves to. Well, if you like that one, you'll like this one. Of course, by the time you come back to have another taste, well, that bottle's gone, but if you like that one, you'll like this one.
I'm sure as the evening progresses, things generally taste better and better.
It seems to be the voices get a little louder. And then this year we're going to try spirits.
I was going to ask, I think you mentioned that last time we talked about this, that you guys were looking into adding that.
Yeah, there's a local distiller out of Lansing, Michigan that'll be there, American Fifth. So he'll be there with some of their own malts and bourbons. And then, of course, the big thing is we'll have 550, give or take, people from the community there. And so your friends will be there, your neighbors will be there, and it's real fun. In fact, I think we'll have a video here in a minute. It's real fun to see the volume goes up as the evening goes on and people start seeing each other.
Now, I know you said it was at Bordine's. When is it again?
October 25th.
Okay.
And this provides the core funding for all the projects that we do in Rotary, which includes Blessings in backpack. We've done that in the past. But some of the big ones are, of course, our scholarships that we provide at the high school level, the polio that we talked about earlier on the international level, our youth exchange program, and a slew of other ones. But it's a fun night, and I hope everybody can come out and join us.
Awesome. Well, we have a video here, I think, from a year or two ago where ITV got to kind of cover the event. So let's take a look at that video now.
We're here tonight for the annual fall wine tasting. This is one of our largest fundraisers for all the things that we do at Rotary, all our service projects, including scholarships at Renaissance High, the help program at Clarkston Schools, youth programs, our Shoes for Kids program, Polio Plus, the Rotary Foundation, presidential project.
My name is Teresa Reams, and today I'm representing Hilltop Brewery in the top of the hill at Clarkston. Today we brought various cheeses, Gouda, Havarti, Cheddar, and Kobe Jack to complement some wines that we are in between right now. We brought a fresh crostini made from our French baguette.
We have wines from all over the world. Italy, France, we do have some California wines. Fall wine tasting is basically wines that are not Michigan wines. And then we have a spring wine tasting that is all Michigan wines.
I love attending the fall wine. I come every year I can. I know people, hey Mike, it's a good cause. This is their biggest fundraiser of the year. And the Rotarians for years have done wonderful things in the community with these fundraisers. So I love coming to them and seeing a lot of people in town, and it's just an all-around good thing.
All right, well, awesome, awesome.
And I'd like to thank Independence TV for putting that together. You guys,
Yeah.
you're great to work with.
Every once in a while we try to come out and cover these local events. I think we've been able to come to the wine tasting, I think, once or twice.
Yep.
That'd be a good one to choose.
Yeah, it's not a bad event. It's
No.
not a bad event.
Yeah.
So, Rebecca, we're going to head back to you now, and you want to talk about the Drayton Plains Nature Center. Tell us a little
Yes,
bit about that.
the Drayton Plains Nature Center is part of the Waterford Parks and Recreation System, and it's off of Hatchery Road, and it's in Waterford, and it is in need of help, and we adopted it. So part of what goes into that is we, of course, monetary donations from the fundraisers that we conduct, as well as sweat and labor. So almost every weekend we have some people out there getting the park ready for the biggest annual event the park has. It is the Haunted Halloween Hayride, and it is this Saturday, October 20th, from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And we are going to have a hayride. We have tons of games for kids, passing out candy. It's a really, really fun party. So we are always in need of volunteers for that, and it's easier for events like that to get a lot of volunteers, but we still always need volunteers. So
Is there a certain age group that event kind of targets?
any age,
Any
any age, everybody loves it. So
Do you have a lot of volunteers dressed up as different fantasy people or horror films or
we could do
superheroes
that.
or something?
Our chapter was founded last year, so this is our first year of doing this.
Gotcha,
So we
gotcha.
can make it a lot of different things, and that's a fantastic idea. So I'll bring it up with the board and see what they say. I love that.
Well, sounds great. Sounds great.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff, we're going to head back to you for kind of our last topic today. You want to talk about youth exchange. So Tell us a little about that.
This is the time of year where we're looking for Clarkston area high school, or any high school, but Clarkston area high school students to think about and then apply for going overseas next year. So what the opportunity is to study in a foreign country, France, Chile, Taiwan, for a year. You'll be a student, you're expected to do as well as you can, and some considerations given for the fact that you're in a foreign language.
Sure.
But you still need to do your homework. So it's not a travel program, it's truly a cultural exchange program. And one of the things I can talk about to really promote it is we had the Dean of the Honors College of Oakland University talking to us. And he said, you know, all day long I see 4.0s, 4.06, 3.97s, 3.5, all day long. But if I see somebody who's got a good grade point and a year of study overseas, they'll be at the top of the pile.
Sure.
Those are the students we're looking for, and those are also the students the businesses are looking for. It shows maturity, it shows confidence, it shows the ability to, or the willingness to participate in something new and strange.
Sure.
That's what business wants. So it is a great thing to have in your resume. Takes a special kid, not everybody can do it, but we'd like to get the word out and see if we can find a few more Clarkson kids to go overseas next year. So they apply now, we run them through a training program during the spring, and then next August they'll get out on a jet and take off for someplace new.
Awesome. Now, are you predominantly looking for 9th, 10th, and 11th graders?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, there is an age requirement. The world, for whatever reason, has decided that if you're over 18 and a half, you're probably a terrorist. So they won't accept you. Okay. So we have to get you in country by 18 and a half.
Gotcha.
So predominantly it's juniors and seniors that go over. Sophomores sometimes. Freshmen are eligible, but generally speaking, you're really not ready to do something.
You're still kind of getting your high school footing, and
right.
that
Yeah.
plus a new culture could be a lot.
Yep. So junior year is probably the most popular, followed by senior and sophomore year.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, before we wrap up today, is there anything else you guys want to mention or talk about? When do you guys meet? When do the regular Rotary and Kiwanis Club meetings happen?
Go for it.
Thank you. Clarkston and Waterford Kiwanis meets at Oakhurst Country Club the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of every month at 6:30 p.m.
And we are also an evening club. We meet at Buckshot's Bar and Grill on every Monday night, except when we're someplace else. So check our website to see if we're there. We got a couple fun things coming up. We're going to go over to the Lighthouse one Monday night after the collection of all the food, and helps resort it so that they can get it out to the people who need it. So once in a while we're off campus.
Sure, sure. Well, awesome. Thank you folks so much for coming by today. And that's all the time we have, and we'll see you guys next time.